side control position, okay? What we're coming up into. I come up off an underhook, I turn underside a little bit. I come up off an underhook, sweep a lot into this fashion, into this grip. You'll see what I'm talking about. So like, I start to go underneath the shoulder. This arm stays going underneath his elbow. As I start to come forward, I slide my hip. Now, one of the reasons that I like doing this, I'm not saying it's superior, but one of the reasons I like doing this is the fundamental movement that Kelly has to touch his elbow to his knee and start to get his guard back, right? Touch your elbow to your knee. Yeah, then he creates that wall of bone, as I like to say, from the art of Muay Thai. And I can't get back inside of there. I need that elbow to knee to be separated so that my body can come inside and take that space, or my knee for a knee on belly, right? So when you have that particular grip, where you have a double underhook like this, he can't touch his elbow to his knee. It's hard for him to do that. The other benefit that I have is as I start to go underneath him with my leg, so I come underneath with this leg first, and then I'm gonna step with my next one. This starts to tilt him, okay? If you have a gi grip where you're holding or your hand's underneath here, you gotta remember that when I step with my exploding leg, so I'm gonna step here to make sure I get his shoulder and arm elevated, and then I'm gonna go like this on the next movement, okay? I gotta open that hand, because you'll get stuck with your arm underneath him too far. So it's important that once I bring my second explosion leg to turn him, that my hand opens, look. All right, now I can be able to start to elevate, take his back, femoras, seat belts, all that good stuff. So it's not so much I'm showing a technique video right now, I'm just showing when we're coming up off the sweep. Let's go to Dogfight, facing this way. Like you guys are, Wizard, like you guys are landing here a lot, boom, and I'm going under, and then under. Let's show it again from this angle. So I'm here, and I took him down, right? And I'm already going like this, look, under, and I swivel this arm, under. That's how I'm getting there. Then if I want to explode to the back, I slide my leg underneath him, close, turn him over, and I have back exposure. Just a movement you guys can understand. We were just doing a drill, 2 minutes, each person, each side, of just the fundamentals of turning it on my side. I'm framing, I turn in, I switch, and I come up. It's important that I shoot my underhook, but then I block his leg. Why? Because if I sit like this, he can step in the mount or do all kinds of nasty stuff to that arm, right? So at a certain point, I'm gonna throw him, but then drop to that leg so he can't step over me, and I can build my base, right? That's what we were doing a second ago, but I'm free of his foot. Since we're doing half guard, I need you guys to understand the footwork. Again, I'm gonna be perpendicular, and I need to make myself parallel. So right now, it's the world's best scenario. I've got the cross face blocked. I get my underhook. Watch what I do here. I'm gonna pump with my elbow. My palm will face the ceiling, and I'm gonna go line up with the ankle. This hand will go underneath him, watch. Okay, so now I can grab his foot. Let's turn a little bit, Kelly. So my right hand's underneath, and I can grab his foot and connect half guard. Sit up, Kelly, so the camera can see. So now I can connect half guard, and I'll show it from a few different angles, all right? It's important that while you're over here, that you're walking your abs into his knee, whether I'm connected in half guard or not. Once I get half guard, if I have my abs a distance away from Kelly, he's gonna drive in the mount, exactly. So I'm constantly gonna now try and, I'm going forward, I'm pushing his knee forward, so he's not able to do that. And so again and again, side control. I'm here like this, I get my underhook, I shove, hand comes underneath, and I'm here. Now I hook. Let's go the same thing we did before. I'm gonna stay maintaining the grip of the knee, the near side knee with this hand. I rotate onto my shoulders like we did in the warm-up drill. Boom, I sling back, bam, here I build my base in the dogfight, tap his knee, start coming, what do you know? Underhook, underhook. Slide right in, right? Okay, let's do it again. So, just a few different angles. I'll be here, I scissor, I try and trap his foot. I build my base, and I'm up. All right, one more time. Back attacks, knee on belly, or just hold side control. But eventually, you gotta do something to tap him. So I like to transition from here. Boom, so I'm here like this, right? There's a bunch of different ways to finish this position, okay? I like to have my knee next to my shoulder and my hand next to my foot, so I have driving power. I have no driving power like this. I have dominant head position. I don't want to stay high, shoulder to shoulder, head to head with him because he tends to have more shoulder. Can you throw your whizzer a little bit? Yeah, he tends to be able to do that a lot more. As I take my arm and my body and I start to slink backwards, now try and throw me with your whizzer, his lot less ability here, okay? But this now allows me to put a lot of weight on his head. I can switch my underhook to this grip. I'm not a big fan of teaching beginners this grip, but what I'm really doing is I'm pushing. If I can point my hands, I'm pushing Kelly this way. So I'm actually forcing his head in the dirt. Try and keep your post here, Kelly, on your left hand. So I'm pushing my hand that way. So when I'm gripping for the video, just know that I'm not pulling. I'm not pulling his shoulder back. I'm actually punching him forward like this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make up this space and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna reach a cow catcher. I'm gonna drop my weight onto his head and start to dip my body to help turn him over. So I dip my weight onto his head like that and I trapped his head. I slide my knee so that I never get put into guard and I walk this arm out from any kind of defense. I still have the chin whip on his neck. I'm here like this. I lift my hips up. I grab my own opponent's chin. I can now choke him by putting my head on the mat. I want to lift up, but I got like 50 pounds on Kelly. So Mookie, M-O-O-K-I-E, Mookie, okay? Not so much worried about finishing the guillotine details right now. I'm just showing you an entrance from there. Again, we were in half guard today. Boom, I switched, got my underhook. We played this whole game where I hooked his leg, underhooked him here, came up for power. I'm like, oh, I'm fighting him like this. And I feel that he's got a lot of forward pressure that way. So I'm like, all right, instead of you pushing me that way, I'm gonna commit your weight to the mat. Now he's committed, right? So I changed the whole game by changing the pressure. He went from throwing me forward to me committing his weight to his hand. This allows me to slide in and chin whip his neck, look. Boom, right? You can't stop that. I drop my elbow and my weight to turn him over. I can hook and go to mount, or I land, some guys will land like knee on belly, whatever, but I'm not allowed in that half guard, okay? I land in mount or whatnot, I'm here. I take my arm out and connect. I grab the palm of the choking hand, right? Now I'm gonna put that elbow over his shoulder so that he can't do a defense, lift my head up. What I mean by defense is this. Humor, Kelly. If I were to grab, on your knees please, if I were to grab your head, you'd probably put your arm over my back and jump around the side, right? Good, go back. This is why Marcelo, God love Marcelo Garcia, started showing us the high elbow guillotine so we can't defend his guillotines, right? Is with that evolution happened. So the same thing is happening when I sweep or land in a guillotine in the mount. I don't want a guillotine with my elbow down. I put it over his shoulder so that he can't defend. And now I actually have something to post on and lift up, right? I can do this now. Compared to before, I'm just stuck on my face trying to do this, you know? Well, last time, I'm here, rotate, boom, got the inside ankle. I come up, he starts throwing me forward. I'm like, oh no, let's change the fight. Make him go forward. Slide the knee, circle the head. Turn him over. Connect your hands, put your elbow on the mat, cross your ankles, lift up. I'm only picking on the old man because he's a purple belt and a goddamn Marine.